Sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being educated in such topics as personal injury law, community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
Good afternoon. This is the first Thursday of the month, and that means it's the Simon Group USA. We are going to talk about, this is open enrollment time, so we're going to talk about open enrollment, and I'm going to get into the stock market a little bit. I have to kind of brush, but I've heard so many things from certain parties saying, oh, the people don't benefit from the stock market, only the rich. We're going to tell you why that's not true. But my two favorite people, the senior partners of Simon, but you guys are so knowledgeable and so caring, and it comes across. We actually had somebody call and tell us how much they love your show. So today, we are going to get into, first of all, there's a lot of new people. I got a lot of emails today that are listening, and we're also on our Facebook, too. So I want you to tell people, who gets to do this, tell people about the company.
I'll actually tell people about the company. So I'm glad.
Why don't you just jump right in?
I'll just jump right in, Steve. Don't worry about it. I'm glad all three of your fans on Facebook are watching today. So basically, the Simon Group USA, we are wealth management and risk management. And
so what is risk management?
It's insurance, pretty much.
Okay.
It's your risk. So what do you have at risk? And if I say what do you have at risk, your home, your auto, your business, your health, your life. So it comes down to being if it's your auto or your home insurance, or it's going to come down to your, what happened? Your boat? Your boat, your cars, your exotic cars.
Well,
I mean, we can actually insure anything.
Okay.
If you want to put it out there like that. So it comes down to being, I mean, we have it from health insurance all the way up to kidnap and ransom insurance. It doesn't matter. We insure everything.
Well, I want to ask, it's really not my question. Someone asked yesterday who could not dial in today, wanted to know if you're in your later 60s, can you still get insurance for daycare, home care?
You say daycare?
Absolutely.
For their grandchildren?
Well, you know, they have the companion.
Absolutely.
Yes.
There's
Absolutely.
Can you still get it?
yes,
at
you
late
can.
in life?
That you can.
As a general rule, I'll discuss, that's called long-term care.
Right.
And disability for older people. Yes, as long as you're basically healthy.
Okay.
You know, everybody's got their little ifs, you know. They got high blood pressure, they got a little thyroid condition, they got a little, you know, rheumatoid arthritis,
You take a
which is
physical
not...
for this.
Yes and no. It depends on your medical record. There's certain illnesses that you cannot get covered for, you know, if you have just certain things. And that's why a personal assessment must be done. That's why a personal appointment must be done. But people up to the age of 75, even up to 80, can buy
She
it
was
if they're
69.
healthy.
I think she said she
Yeah,
was.
69 is an average age.
about
Today,
the average.
more
But don't people usually buy their insurance well
They
before
usually
that?
do, depending on the company also. That's one thing that you have to be careful of the companies that you're buying. You want A-plus companies that you know that will be there. The history of people being on long-term care, when they finally turn it on, by the time they're usually on it for about 2.5 to 3 years. Sometimes. Well, that's the average. So you either buy a 5-year policy, depending on the year. Some years, 7-year policy. It's just depending. People are living longer. I mean, the cost.
Actually, you're buying a pool of money.
You're buying a pool of money, but actually,
Right.
I'm going to tell you, this is where it gets crazy because it costs $100,000 a year for somebody to have nursing care. That's the average. of What's coming
In
out
their
to be.
home.
In their home.
Right.
We're not talking about assisted living, which everybody says, I'm never going to go
Is
to
that
assisted
another
living.
type policy,
No.
assisted living?
No. Today's long-term, years ago they were all separate. Today, comprehensive long-term care policy, which you got some really good major companies out there that are willing to take the risk and hoping that out of every 100 that they sell, maybe one will need it. But
that makes
that's
sense.
basically
Or
the
they go out
risk
of business.
management.
Of course.
Right, absolutely. But the point I'm trying to bring out is today they're buying comprehensive. Comprehensive means that you're covering in-home, assisted living, daycare. You're living with your children, and your children have to go to work. But they got to put you somewhere for the day because you can't get around. You're not mobilized
drop 'em
enough.
off
You
at the
can't do
zoo.
things. They drop you off. They have somebody to pick you up and drop you off. It's just like daycare. You know what I mean? Instead of having a 3-year-old, you have a 78-year-old that's going through that.
Same situation, diapers and all.
You know, so, but unfortunately, there are older people. That's why they have depends. The older people that are in diapers and
Well,
that
depends on who wears them.
need that need that help. But the point
feeling
is,
more comfortable
today's long-term care policies are very good, and it's just a matter of you buying a pool of money. So let's say you're one of those that has a lot of assets. Don't think that just because you got a couple of $1 million, you're okay, that you don't have to worry about it, because a couple of $1 million can go bye-bye real fast, especially if you have an Alzheimer's parent or you have Alzheimer's, and you could live a long time with it, too. You know what I mean? Your dementia could be to a degree. You just need to be watched, because you might leave that pot on the stove and burn down the house. So it's a problem today, because everybody says it's never going to happen to me and I'm going to shoot myself. But if you have
Everybody says that.
Alzheimer's,
Everybody says that.
yeah, but if you have Alzheimer's, how are you going to remember how to shoot yourself?
Where you gonna,
Exactly.
I gotta remember where you put the gun at.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's very true. You know, it's funny. I had a conversation with someone yesterday who came in to see me, and we talked, and he told me that he inherited a gun collection, and he has one. And he has been buying, you know, good guns through the years, and he believed in that. And I said, really? He said, you know, you live alone, anything, aren't you fearful that, you know? No. So I said, so what happens to you when you get very sick? You don't have long-term care. He says, well, that's going to be a problem. He says his fear is maybe he'll take a gun and shoot himself. And says, do you think you're going to be able to find him?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
You know what? Because my Renee's father, somebody talked him in, said, you don't need that much insurance. You can cut it way back.
Well, they all get talked in. That's what I want to talk to you about. And that's funny that you actually mentioned that, because you don't need that much insurance. You need a timeshare. I'm just joking. You need a timeshare. So what ends up happening is listen, and I see in my
Was he
industry.
like this when it came out?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Wanted back in. So what happened was, I look at people in my industry, and you know, you have to say, all right, who is fully licensed, who has the proper training, who has the proper things. And when, you know, people mean well when they sit down with you and they go over the products with you. But if they don't know, and you get something and you figure it's a nice guy, body's a nice guy, it seemed good, and they're yesing you to death. They're not telling you the truth, they're telling you what you want to hear. And then all of a sudden, when it comes time to use the product,
That's what happened.
that's when you're like, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. And because what happens is you have to review on a daily. The guy could be the best guy in the world. You got to review a second opinion, not through them, because they're going to tell you exactly what they told you the first time. You need someone to rip these products apart. Because I'm going to tell you something. Companies are out there not to lose money.
Yeah.
So depending on the riders, depending on what they have in there, what you really need and what you don't need. At that time, it sounded great. But then when you go to use it, it's like, huh? Because think about it. You buy health insurance. You go to the doctor. Who knows how much it pays and what it pays for and what the doctor's charging? You don't know. So it's like if you have a car, you're supposed to look at under the engine every 5,000 to 10,000 miles, depending on your oil. Well, guess what? Review your policies. I don't care what kind of policy it is. Got to review these things if you have it. If you don't have it, you compare 3 or 4 different companies from soup to nuts on what they have in
He
there.
didn't know he was going to be in the hospital for a year. People, do you have any idea what it cost to be in a hospital,
Yes.
in a rehab center for a year?
Better not
So-
have Medicare.
He did. Let me tell you something. He did before, but he cut it back. Someone said, "Oh, you don't need that," or "You don't need that." So in your minds, you have a checklist.
Of course.
You're thinking 3, 5, 10 years out.
Worst case scenario.
Exactly.
If I look at your worst
Who
case
would have known
scenario,
he had been in the hospital every day?
no, if you would have known that, you wouldn't be here. You'd be on some island somewhere
Yeah.
drinking margaritas. And the bottom line is this, is that you have to prepare for the worst. That's not your job. You're going to prepare for your vacation. More people spend more time preparing for a vacation than they do their financial future, right? I build a roadmap for you, and that's what I do. And I said, okay, if I'm driving the bus, literally, and saying, okay, if we have to make a left, we have to make a right, that's what my job is for you. You have to sit back and relax and not worry that we're going to get to our destination. I got to control what's going on. And I take what you tell me. Remember, garbage in, garbage out. So I need the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts. So I need the truth of what's really going on in your life and what's happening with your finances so I can make a proper decision of where we need to be and how we're going to get there. That's the main thing.
So people don't really, when they come to you and they bring their policies in, how many of those people really know what's in their policies?
We got to blow
Most
the
of
dust
them
off of
don't.
it. They don't know. They don't know.
Most of them don't know
There's
what
dust
they
on top
have.
of the policy. It was like that thing hasn't been touched since 1986. I mean, it's crazy, but that's
No,
true.
but I would think most people have no idea what's in their policy.
No.
Most people don't. Some may, in fact.
The people that know their understand
How do you make
insurance.
a decision?
How do you, well,
If you
know,
don't
it's
know
a
what's in
funny
your
thing.
policy.
It's a funny thing, but back in the 80s, when I first came into the business, I was taught something by my old manager, who was a very smart man. People buy either need or greed.
Okay, tell me about
Okay.
the greed part.
The greed part is money that builds up.
Oh.
Everybody wants money. And the need is they have a mortgage, they have a financial obligation to a child, they're looking to make sure that if anything happens to them, their family doesn't end out in the street, no education, no food in their mouth, no money to pay the bills. So that's called need. College
Called
plan,
millennials.
things like that. But the greed, this is what you got to get people on, is the greed. And that's how they try to implement this into people that went to sell in those days. And unfortunately, it wasn't a good way to offer insurance to people. I'm talking about insurance or even investments like annuities and things like that. The problem is the majority of those guys left the industry. They came in, they really couldn't hack it, they couldn't keep up the numbers or whatever. It really wasn't their career. It really wasn't their passion for helping people. They were there to make the money. And let me tell you, most people that go to work are there to make money unless they love what they do. If you don't love what you do, then you're not going to give it your all. Now, I love what I do,
I can
and the
tell.
reason why is because I'm a problem solver. I'm not there to sell you something. I mean, I remember those days when my manager used to say, if they're going to give you $13 a month, check-o-matic, pay by check every month. I said, I don't care. It's going to
That's how
help
long
them.
she's been selling insurance. She used to ride around with the bicycle with the quarter, the old MetLife guy.
I thought she was up in the balloon.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to go to our first break. This is the Simon Group USA. We've got Phyllis and Daniel here. Give everybody the phone number.
The phone number is 954-599-1950. Please call to schedule your review.
We'll be right back.
Good night.
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
Can't hear you.
I can hear them.
That's it.
And we are back. This is the Ask the Expert show. Remember, today at 5 o'clock from 5 to 6 on 1470 AM, we have more Ask the Experts. We have our HOA and Community Association lawyers today. We are here. This is the first Thursday of the month. We have the Simon Group here with Phyllis. I have a Felix, believe it or not. Phyllis and Daniel Simon. We are talking about all kinds of things, and I wanted to get in. Do people still, because we're talking about going back years and years ago, do people still ask the price first?
No.
So if you held up a great package, a great insurance package, knocked their socks off, and then you gave them another one that's half the price, which one are they going to take?
If people that price shop, you can do that online. And what happens is when we're doing planning,
But you're not getting the best or a good
well,
policy.
what is the best? You tell me what the best is. You know what the best insurance is?
Everything. I'm
And when you
covered
need
for
it,
everything.
it's there. Exactly.
That's
When
true,
you need
too.
it, it's there. So what is the cost? And the cost is there's 1,000 companies out there. Everybody has their own costs. They have their own actuaries, which are bookmakers, by the way. They're bookies. So they're going to bet on your health, your life, or whatever the case may be.
That's what they're actually doing.
Yeah, it's exactly what they're doing. So the bottom line is this: is saying, okay, well, this fits in the budget to my plan, and this is what I'm going to do. So depending on the company, if you want cheap, remember what you get.
Right.
If you buy garbage, you're going to get garbage. So if you get a B company or not an A company, whatever it is. But listen, today's day and age, who knows? Companies can be here tomorrow. They're not. They get bought out. I mean, a lot of buyouts and things are moving around.
In defense of the insurance industry, I got to say, most insurance companies that do go under another big company always takes it over, and they go into what's called a resolution trust, so that's not a problem.
Okay.
And most of those, people that buy term insurance, if their insurance company went under, unless they're no longer insurable, then they would have a problem if another company didn't take over. But term insurance basically is just like leasing an apartment. All right, you're renting an apartment for a few years or whatever. You get a good price, but I'm going to have a 5-year lease or a 1-year lease or whatever.
Of course.
Term insurance, same way. You're going to have a 10-year lease, a 20-year lease, or a 30-year lease. The problem is that people don't think beyond into the future. And let me tell you, 30 years goes real fast.
It
And
does
when
go
you're
fast.
30, you don't think about mortality. You don't think about these things, and you think you're healthy, you're strong, you're going
But
to,
you just mentioned something very, 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 very important. Health, because you buy insurance with your health.
That's right.
Because if you're not healthy, you can't get it.
That's true.
Things you can't replace: time or your health. Right?
That's true.
And what's happening is that people think, oh yeah, I'll throw money at a problem. If you throw money at a problem, guess what happens? It never comes out the way it's supposed to be. The best thing to do is buy the insurance when you're young and you're healthy, because you're going to be the healthiest you're
And
ever
you
going
can
to be.
make changes.
Before the blood pressure medication, before the stents, before this, and then you're uninsurable. And once you're uninsurable, you're like, I should have. And we all say that. And you know what? The bottom line is the sooner you get that, the cheaper it is, number one, for you, because it goes by age. And then number two is you have a better rating from there, so if you need more coverage, you can get it for the price.
See, there are policies nowadays that you can buy when you're young. You can have guaranteed insurability added. There are different riders. It just depends. So the whole concept is that people should be looking at what they need to do as far as their health is concerned. That's when you get it. Now, sometimes people can't afford it when they're very young. So
Right.
they buy the cheap stuff, the term, but they should buy a large amount. So then they could always downsize it later on if they want to change it to something better. All right? Because a lot of companies give convertibility options, some don't. There's another thing is why should people buy insurance? Really, why?
It's not fun. First of all, you say why should people buy. You think shopping for insurance is fun? I mean, it's the most boring thing you ever think of in your life.
It's
You're
stressful.
talking-
No, it's not boring.
stressful. You're
I
talking
would
about
say it's
death.
more so.
The bottom
Yeah, but
line
nobody
is-
wants to believe they're going to die. It's
Yeah,
going to
it's-
happen.
And you know what? People don't think about even 5 years from now or 10 years from now. I got to tell you something. So I have Medicare. I'm new to Medicare. And it's wonderful, except
Okay,
because
here we
that's
go.
on the top of everybody's mind now. They're
Yes.
saying Medicare for all. First of all, it takes a long time to get in to see a doctor. Can you imagine if everybody has Medicare?
People will be running to Canada to go get
Well,
Medicare.
yeah, it's getting-
Might as
sounds
well
better
move
there.
to Canada and be there to get the same
But it
benefits they
takes
can.
forever
The cost
to
alone.
get a referral.
the
Gonna be
co-
some
well, no,
changes for
first of all, the
2020.
cost alone is going to be ridiculous.
It is because today, all right, now there's going to be some changes for 2020
I
with
heard that.
Medicare. Medicare, if you're new to Medicare at age and you turn 65 in 2020, there's certain Medicare supplement plans are going to change. You won't be able to buy those great plans that a lot of these people have that pick up 100% of everything. So those will no longer be available. The cost of Medicare, depending on your income, is going to go up.
Is that what it's based on? Is your income?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're talking about this because this is open enrollment time.
course it
Exactly.
is.
We have until December 7th.
Well, I'll tell you, it's funny you say open enrollment, and it doesn't matter if you own your own company or if you're an individual out there and you're looking for the health insurance and what's out there on the exchange this year, what we've seen. A lot of people, if you are working, you need to have health insurance regardless. Either they're going to find the company you work for or they're going to find you. That's one or the other. That's basically what happens this year. So what's going to happen is that people need to compare the plans, and if it's over, and we're using rough estimates here, if it's over 9.5% of basically your salary, what your company's offering, you have to go to the exchange to go get yourself a plan. So that's basically what's happening in a nutshell of buy the plans out there. Right now, there's a few companies that are offering it. Some of these companies you've never heard of before. Some of you have heard of them. The main thing is call your doctor first, see who they take before you go buy a plan.
But there's, they have deals, inside deals. So I found out. So I called my doctor for a referral, and I said I want to go to a certain doctor who had operated on me once before, and he's on the list.
No.
Can't do that.
You're not getting
I
it.
said, but they're
He's not in his. He's
they're on
not in his
humanity's list.
circle.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
How do they do
No,
that?
listen. In defense, okay, in order to keep costs down, okay, a lot of primary care doctors or Humana or even other insurance companies will say to them, some doctors want to have his own team. They will want their cardiologist. I'm a primary internist. I need a cardiologist. I need a podiatrist. I need a gastro doctor. I need a lung doctor. I need an ophthalmologist, an ENT.
Cataracts.
I need one of these. I'm going to make a team, and I'm going to go out to the other guys that are on this insurance company and say to them, okay, listen, I have a very large client base that has this insurance. You're all on it. Let's work together as a team. You get my referrals. Okay. So they basically set themselves up that
It takes
way.
years to build that
Now,
up like that.
there are a lot of doctors in these HMOs that don't do that.
Right.
It depends on which doctor you pick. Now, my sister has one of those doctors. He has a team. And every single one of the people on his team, I personally think, are not capable. They shouldn't even be doctors. But that's my opinion.
Right, I understand
Because
that.
I have the freedom. I'm also supposedly, I think I'm a big maven. If you know what the
I know
word
what
maven
maven
is. But the point is that,
Like
you know,
Google.
I always look for the best, and I always look at reputation. I was taught this. When I started having children, I was told when you want to find a good doctor, call the 3 major hospitals, find out who the top 3 doctors are in each department. And if those doctors, 2 of their names come up in at least 2 of those hospitals, then you got a good doctor because he's wanted in this hospital and that hospital. So that's how I always based it, and it was a
But
way.
do you have an HMO or a PPO?
I have a PPO.
So you can go.
Anyway,
Yes.
in and out of network.
So tell her, you know what?
But that's what
people-
everybody should get because let me tell you about Medicare.
Please,
okay.
because you know what?
Medicare
a lot of people
Advantage.
don't even know how
All
it
right.
works.
Medicare, plain Medicare, Part A and B is covered from your Medicare red, white, and blue card with your new Medicare
age?
number.
What age?
And starting at usually at age 65.
Okay.
Depending if you're still working and you're on a job, and then Medicare will send you a card with Part A only until you're ready for Part B
What
when
is
you
Part A?
retire. But Part A is automatic at age 65.
Okay.
Okay,
But you have to
Part A
apply
is
for it,
hospital. No.
They don't. I didn't just get
Oh,
mine.
they knew I was 65. They sent me my card. I said, wait a
Wow.
minute. So I called them, and they said, I said to them, I noticed P wasn't on it. Well, you still working? I said, yes. They said, you got your insurance.
Okay.
I would never give up my health
And what is
insurance
B?
where I work. Part B is for the doctors.
Okay.
All right. Then there's Part D, as in David. That's for your prescription drugs. And boy, oh boy, when you turn 65, you better get that right away if you don't have it. If you just get
So you
regular
don't automatically
Medicare.
get it.
No. And you get penalized for every month after your open enrollment that you don't have that Part D prescription drug plan. You pay a penalty, and it's like 1% and keeps going up. I met a woman
People
the
don't
other
know
day
that.
that didn't have a prescription plan for 12 years.
Wow.
She
And the
doesn't.
savings you get.
She doesn't use prescription. She's 77 years old. She's in great shape. She doesn't need prescription. But lo and behold, the day that she will, boy, is she going to be in trouble.
Now, when we're going to go to break,
Yes.
what age should people call you at and start preparing for Medicare if they're not working?
If they're not working, they should call me when they're 64 and a half, at least, minimum, and say, let's talk about what's going to be available.
Well, actually, Steve, they should call us at any time because if they're not working, they're going to need health
Okay.
insurance regardless of
Damn.
where it's at. So the bottom line is that it doesn't matter what age it is. So we're going to prepare you up to 64, 65. So if you're in your 60s or if you're in your 50s and you need to take a look at it and saying people retire 57, 58.
That's
let's
right.
Say, let's say that you're,
Health.
in law enforcement and you retire 30-year stint and you're out at 58. Next thing you know, it's like I have 7 years that I need health insurance before I turn 65. And it's going to cost me $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. How do I plan for this stuff? This is what we go in and talk about.
We're going to go to break. Give everybody your phone number.
954-599-1950.
And if you'd like to call us here and talk to either Phyllis or Daniel, the number here is 888-565-1470. If you've got a question, they'll be more than happy to answer for it. And because I screwed up with Medicare, I want to make sure this doesn't happen to you. We're going to go to break, and we'll be back with our second half of the show. Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
You are listening to the Ask the Experts show with host Steve-O. We will be right back with more experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Join us every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Now, get ready for more Ask the Experts.
He said she wouldn't be here.
And this is the Ask the Expert show. This is the second half of our show. We're here in studio, live, with Phyllis and Daniel Simon. This is like Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, I swear. But they are, without a doubt, if you want somebody to help you with your money, these people are so good at what they do. And that's why we have this show, so you can get educated. This is not one big commercial for the Simon Group USA. We're talking about Medicare, and I got to tell you, we're probably spending more time on it, but it's open enrollment, and your host here, I screwed up big time, and I saw what it's like. And
You can
when's the
change.
last time you
You
kicked
can
him?
change. You can change now.
Well, I wanted to ask you. So I got a call. I got a call from Humana.
Yeah.
We're making all these changes for 2020.
Yes.
But I'm seeing on TV stuff that I never heard about.
Like?
That they're going to be adding how it's changing.
What news
for
station are you
2020?
watching?
MSNBC.
But you said you heard things you never heard about.
Yeah,
before.
these commercials.
Oh, the
Commercials.
The
Okay,
commercials,
let me
not
So
the-
explain.
what's changing?
All right. So it depends on your
2020.
plan. It depends on the plan that you're on.
Well, why are they making such a
HMO.
big-
Because they're trying to
all
get
right,
people on,
You need
so-
to understand something. They give you October 15th to December 7th, which
Right.
is typically 7 weeks, which is not a
To
lot
do
of
what?
to make changes
On
to-
your policy.
on the existing
Yes.
plan you have.
And
That
what if
they
you're
give you
purchasing for the first time? How
and
long
the-
do you have?
You have actually 7 months if you're purchasing for the first time when you turn 65. The month you turn 65, 3 months before, and 3 months after,
Okay.
which is a total of 7 months. But the problem that people have is open enrollment. People belong to an HMO or PPO. Some people are not happy. Some people are happy. It all depends on the doctors they have. I know people that have the same plan you have. They absolutely love it. Their doctor gives them a million referrals to anywhere they want to go. So they don't have the restriction because your doctor made a deal with this group
Right.
of friends. Everybody is different. So plan changes are the biggest plan change is going to be on Medicare subs. And the tax, there's another Medicare tax, and the tax rolls are going to go up as far as the cost of Medicare, and people are going to be paying more. And, you touched on something during...
Will they realize it? That they're paying more in taxes?
Most people don't. They
Okay.
see, they got a 1.7% cost of living increase. Oh, big deal. You know what that is? You know how many years it takes to double your money at 1%? 72 years. How many people are going to come around 72 years twice? It never happened. The key thing is that you have to realize is the plans that you have. I'm coming around the second time.
I know,
All right,
I'm
the
sure.
plans that
Don't you?
Yeah,
remember the Old Testament, they lived for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I didn't-
980 years. She's having a baby.
Yeah, right. Oh, God. Anyway, the plans change. Some are better, some aren't. Some companies got better contracts than other companies. So what you got to do is sit down with somebody that knows about this, not the person that works for this one company only. Somebody that has an assortment of companies and say, look, this one gives this one gives this one gives this. Some give silver sneakers, some don't. Some give better
And that's wonderful, I
prescription.
gotta tell you.
It's some,
I don't have to pay for the gym
Jim,
anymore.
right. Some give better, have all your prescriptions. Some don't have all your prescriptions. It's
I
a
mean,
matter of personal choice.
The main thing is sitting down with someone who knows the
Right.
policies. You come in. That's the main thing is when you call or you come in and we go through all the plans with you, and that's something that Phyllis does for you, and she does that. So this way you don't have to sit there and start reading through all the different ones because it gets confusing. And we all know if you're not interested in it, technically it doesn't grab your interest. You're not going to pay attention to what it is.
Humana's book is so thick.
Of course.
Who reads that?
First of all, let me explain something. Everything is online nowadays.
Right.
And a lot of the older seniors are not as savvy with the computers as they think they are.
She's one of them.
And many times they end up with viruses in their computers, but they're all trying to learn. Listen, I give a lot of people credit that they're trying to learn, and then there are some that are just closed-minded about computers because they feel that they're not helping them or they don't know how to search the engines in their computer to search on the internet, to search for things that they need to do. The younger generation, of course, the millennials and the ones that are younger than them, I mean, even 7-year-olds know what to look up and can find things better
They're smarter than we are.
Exactly. However, no common sense. And that's one of the problems because everything is computer-based and they may have some imagination, but it's not retention, it's not staying there. There's no retention. So the wise parent makes sure their kids do a lot of reading, not on the computer, a lot of learning words and learning how to spell them, memorizing math and English is so important. Even a foreign language, memorization is one of the most important things. The brain is the best computer there is. With saying all this, it
Are you
is
selling
just
computers?
it deals
the
with the
point,
fact
please.
that I'm getting to the point.
Okay.
Deals with the fact that a 7-year-old can go on a website
All
and
right,
pick
so
a
what does
health
that have to
plan
do
for
with the
you
book?
better than you can if you're 75. You know,
I
that's
think
what
I'd rather have
happens.
you guys explain it to me.
Very
The
simply.
different policies.
You can go online, see if you get a book. That's what she was trying to tell you.
You know, go
Yeah,
on. You can
but
get.
you know what though? Even Humana sends out like a list of doctors.
Yeah.
It looked like somebody printed it up, made a copy of it. It isn't even
Did you read those
professional.
names? Did you
They
read those
don't
names?
want to
Yeah.
spend the
They made up
money
names.
in
That's-
Well, you got to
paper.
go through 200 pages.
Yes.
They don't want to spend the money in paper to send it to you because, number one, the
expensive.
complaint is our forests are being jeopardized with wood. Remember, paper's made from wood. Second reason, it's easier for them to put it online. So, you know, you have ecology involved. So this is how these insurance companies think. Don't think I'm crazy when I'm
No, I
saying
know.
you these things, because this is how they think. So they make all these books for you to find your doctor online. You put in your zip code, and all the companies do it. Humana has a very large medical base. They do have a lot of doctors, I have to tell you that. As United Healthcare, Aetna, Coventry, all of them do.
So I want to make sure people understand when you turn 64, you've got to start you've got to make that
Medicare.
call to you.
Yes.
I am telling you because I didn't know. A friend of mine said, he said, "Well, are you on Medicare?" I went, "No." And he said, "Why? You're 65." I went, didn't think about it.
No one thinks about, that they're getting older.
That's it.
And you know what ends up happening is people don't realize, your brain's telling you're still 20, your body's telling you're 65, right? So then it comes down to being of, no one ever says, what do I need to do? Where's my guide to life, right? This happens when, I got to a certain age, things like start falling off the wagon, so to speak, health-wise, where you think you can do it, and then you try to do it, and you wake up in the morning, and now you have a heel spur, and now the leg stiffens, and the arm hurts, and that hurts, and this hurts, and you're like, the Tylenol doesn't work anymore.
Have you been in my house?
Yeah, right, exactly. So, I realized, I woke up this morning, I rolled over, and I said, these arms don't work like they used to work, and as you're getting up, and you don't
Yeah.
pop out of bed like, you jump up, and you're ready to tackle the day. Now it takes 3 cups of coffee instead of 1, and
You're exactly right.
it's life, and we're getting older, and we only have a certain amount of time that we're here. We got to make the best of it, make the most of it. Number 1 and 2, and number 3 is we got to make sure that our health is the most important thing from there.
We're not talking about a lot of money to
We're
get
not-
involved
no,
with Medicare.
No, but the whole entire thing is like I'm on the wealth side. So for me, if you're not healthy, you're spending your money on your health,
Right.
right? Or you're not going to enjoy your money, so you can actually go do the great things you want to do. And you know what I tell people, and I tell them all the time: go take the vacations, go do things while you're healthy, and you can walk around and enjoy it. Because that time I'll do it when I have the extras, right? Or you don't want to do it now. Now's not a good time. Guess what? We're not getting out of here alive. Nobody is.
Well, I heard the world's going to be over in 11 years
Whatever it
because of
takes.
climate change.
Oh,
Here's the bottom line. Don't get me involved in climate change. If someone bought a house on the water up in Nantucket for, I think it was $16 million. He used to be an ex-president. So let's not talk about who's buying properties on the waters these days.
So I want to ask something because when Medicare, if you're working and you have health care through your job,
yes.
no Medicare.
No, you do
But
get
what if
Medicare.
you're
You do get
working
Medicare.
and your company doesn't
Let me
offer?
explain. There's different ways. Okay, if you work for a big company and they have good health plan, you're always going to have Medicare Part A, which has a deductible. Okay, but it's for hospitalization. So it's going to use that. Medicare says your group insurance is the first payer.
Right.
Now, let's say in your group insurance you have a deductible. Okay, and it's a certain amount of money, and it's higher than the Medicare deductible. Then Medicare may kick in and pay a small amount of money toward to help you. Depends on if you work for a big employer. If you work for a small company, you may not even
Well,
have
hold on
any
one
health
second.
insurance.
Big employers now are not giving out benefits the way they used to. There's no more pensions. There's no more this. They're pushing big employers now. They don't want to do benefits either. It's costing their bottom line. And what happens to their
They
bottom
give the
line,
basic
they give
essential
you the
insurance.
basics. They give you garbage. And I hate to say that.
Is it really?
Most of it's
The
garbage.
healthcare is garbage.
Follow
most
what
of
I'm
it.
going to say now. This is very important. Right now, we're in open enrollment for individual health care, not just Medicare.
Right.
This started November 1st till December 31st. It may extend to
15th, December
January,
15th.
December 15th. Then it gets extended sometime to January 31st, depending. Okay. And then we have what's called, for the younger people we're talking about, the people that are older, that have children and grandchildren that have a problem getting health insurance, that they can contact us just too, because we offer that also. And there's a very important thing that people need to notice. When somebody moves, when somebody loses their job, when somebody gets married, when somebody has a baby, these are all called special election periods.
Any life
that they're
changes, pretty much.
allowed to make changes to their health insurance. Now,
Throughout the year.
what Dan was trying to tell you about is that large employers today cannot really afford to pay this large amount of money for a good basic policy. So what they did
Well,
is
because a
most
good
of them,
basic policy cost them $1,000, and they have to pay for half
and
of
the
it.
employee
and you can't
can't
pay
afford
$700 a month.
Right.
1
For
minute.
yourself,
And
let alone your
if,
family.
If an insurance company charges you $1,000 for a single employee, he's 50 years old. We'll use that as an example. He has a wife, and he still has a 25-year-old at home. Because remember, a lot of people got married later in life, so they still have kids at home in their 20s, early 20s sometimes.
Sometimes 40s
second
and
marriages.
50s.
Well, unfortunately.
Don't look at
but
me, Steve.
second
Oh,
marriages.
You
Listen.
went back.
Yeah, you're right.
No,
Yeah. You're right. By the pool, Steve. Don't
So
forget the pool.
anyway, so what happened is that the cost of the health care is so outrageously expensive. The employer is selfish. He wants a good plan for himself. But oh my God, I can't pay this kind of money for my employees. So now I'll say, okay, I'm going to pay 50% for you. Your premium is $500 a month for you. What about my wife and my kid? Oh, that's another $2,000.
Who can afford
what
it?
employee
I
can
know.
afford $2,500 a month, even $2,000 a month, even $1,500 a
And
month?
the deductibles
I
are
mean,
insane.
it doesn't matter. They don't have the liquid cash to use or to lose. They got to come home to pay the rent. They got to come home and pay the mortgage. They got to pay electric bill, car payment, eat food, send their kids to school. Everything costs money today. There's no such thing as a free ride unless you're getting pure welfare, and then you have the free ride.
Medicare
But
for
most
all.
people, the Medicare for all is going to be an impossible thing to even think of it. Do
52
trillion.
52
Wait a minute,
trillion.
where are you going to get the money?
I know.
Write
All
a
right,
check.
here's
We
another
didn't know.
thing.
32 million.
Here's another
trillion
thing.
we didn't know.
Oh, we're going to tax the rich. Who's the rich? Anybody that makes more than 75, 80,000 a year, 100,000 a year. I mean, this is ridiculous.
That's like taxing all of South Florida.
And
I mean, if
get
you think about it,
passionate.
no, hold on a second. If you think about from what the minimum they're showing that people make minimum wage and what the average is, $15,000 to $18,000 a year. I mean, if you think about it, it's under $30,000 a year is the country's basically average wage. So if you're making anything above that, they're thinking you're doing better than other people,
Right.
and you can't. So there's going to be a big issue with that of what everybody you see out there telling you how great these plans are. Who are they going after to get the money?
300 million people are not working,
I know.
earning wages.
Actually, it's
There
150 million people who are working right now.
And-
We
and-
have to go to break. Give everybody your phone number.
954-599-1950.
The name of the company is the Simon Group USA. We'll be coming back for our last 15 minutes. I've got a big question that somebody I promised yesterday I would ask. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
Yeah.
And we are back. This is the Ask the Expert show. It's the first Thursday of the month, so we have the Simon Group USA. And if you've been sitting here for the last 45 minutes, hopefully you've learned something today. We're talking about healthcare, which is huge. And, we have people that keep saying, you know what, we should have healthcare for all. Just think about one thing. Think about making an appointment to see your doctor, and they tell you they can see you in a month and a half. Can you imagine if we had health care for all? We don't have enough doctors.
It's not. The health care for all is good.
But who's going to see these
Medicare for all, that's not good. Health care for all is a good thing. We want everybody to have health care. But we have to come up with for those that are
Affordable.
for those that are not insurable, for those that are disabled, those plans are in work now. They work now for people. Health care for all should be health care, but you can't use a government program for everybody. You can't use that. Yes, it was promised to the senior citizens because they paid into it for the last 60 years. 1964, Johnson signed it into a bill. We started paying through our paychecks for that Medicare. Well, I'm sorry. I don't think it's fair for somebody now who's never paid into the system to collect off that system.
I agree.
Medicare for all belongs to Medicare, period, belongs to senior citizens or disabled people or the children of those disabled people, because those people basically contributed. You can't get a free ride all the time. And now, yes, there should be affordable health care, but with good benefits. The stuff that they gave them, the worst benefit, and it's costing people too much money. They can't even afford it.
I had to drop mine
It's
3 years ago.
It's disgusting.
We're going to bring the prices down, and you can still see
Not
your
true.
doctor.
Well, Steve,
Not
you know,
true.
you take the filet out of the oven, and then what you're going to do is take the rosemary potatoes. I'm going to talk about something more important than this Bubba Meisters you guys are talking about Medicare and everything for all, because it's not happening. So I might as well talk about something we actually enjoy as
Good.
food, right? So I'm trying to stop the conversation for a second because it's not going to happen the way people think it's going to happen. They passed a tax bill. The tax bill was called Obamacare. It's a
Right.
tax bill. So all this stuff, and I hate to say
We
this,
should tell Judge Roberts that.
there's 1,100 pages. No one read the thing, but we're going to pass it. Okay? If you started off like that, 1,100 pages, we didn't read it. Look at what they're doing now in government. Look what they're doing with everything now. No one reads any of these things. Except for that one guy who read the New York Times that wanted to decide he was a whistleblower. But just saying. I'm just,
The New York Times said it.
yeah, right. So I'm going to believe that, right? You're reading journalists, not analysts, and that's what happens. So my main thing is they're going to try and pass things. Everybody thinks it's a great idea. Everybody's listening to 5% of what they're saying. Get down to the real thing, what they're saying. If you look in their eyes, they all look crazy, right? They have that.
Oh,
like
they
they're
keep
out to
saying
lunch.
free.
Everything's free. Free. Remember, there's no free lunch.
You're right.
You got it. You're gonna eat. You're gonna have to give up something, right? And the bottom line is that you get three free meals a day, and you get a place to sleep, but you give up your freedom. You understand?
Yes.
So these are things that are free out there, supposedly. But what I'm trying to say is, everything they're gonna say and promise, be careful what you wish for. You're gonna get it, and it's not gonna be what you want. Every person that got forced into buying health insurance, I'm so against it, but I'm in the business now. Double-edged sword for me.
Right.
Because I'm trying to help people, but then again, they can't afford it. The ones who can't afford it make more than $30,000 a year. They can't afford $1,000 a month for healthcare.
No
they
way.
can't. So only one benefits are people that do not make money. They're getting it for free, but they forgot to tell you. No one pays attention to what really happens. So I'm going to give you the stipend, right? I'm going to give you the money to buy the health care. So I go and turn around and get the $500 a month from the government, and I got health care. Now I have health care, great. When taxes come around and I don't turn in that my 1095A form and that form and this form, and I'm expecting my $6,000 back from the government, guess what happens? Well, at that point, as a wealth management guy, you go and short all the retail because no one's buying the new iPhone or the new Nike and the Jordans and everything else because guess what? They're not getting a tax refund back. Government said, we gave you the money, we took it back from you. So guess what happens? No one paid attention to the cycle of what happens to the economy for businesses. Because when you get your tax return, usually when you don't have all year and you don't make money, you get a little something, you go out and spend your money, right? They're not putting it into their IRA. If you have no money, you're not investing your money. You know what I'm saying? So what ends up happening is no one saw the cycle. And if you didn't buy the insurance, you got fined. But it's a fine or is it a tax bill? Because the IRS is looking for you.
Well, the Supreme Court justice said it's
a tax bill.
But guess what? We did get rid of. We're no longer fined for not having health care.
Boston Tea Party.
But they keep your money.
There's a reason. There's a reason why people fought a tax law in this country. That's how this country started.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. You got some mail there?
No, I can't believe it. My
What were you
sound's
going to
up.
ask me?
There. Okay. I don't think most Americans understand whether it's
the politicians
healthcare.
didn't understand the
That's
policy.
true too.
So this was done on purpose to raise revenue and raise taxes. That's what that was for. Because the government wants money back in. That's what they did that for. So now it's like, how do we sit there and say, okay, well, we got shamboozled the first time. What are you going to do for us now?
Well, I got to tell you, because we're trying to stay away from politics on this show. It's very difficult to do.
Unfortunately, the politics took over our industry, and it created the health care.
Rocks the market every day.
It's a political problem every single day because people, they holler it up. How can I pay for this? How can I afford this? It's not my fault.
No,
I try to help them. It's very difficult.
It's all your
Medicare,
fault.
senior citizens, things are taken away from them in the Medicare. People don't even know what's been taken away from them because they don't need it. But God forbid you need it and you're not going to have it in that policy.
Remember where they pulled the money from? Let's not go with Social Security and everything else. Think about, all right, we got the one finger. Yeah. So basically what's happening is we got to pay attention to what's going on. And I know, let the next generation deal with it. But you know what?
We keep kicking the can down the road.
There's not enough of the next generation.
Well, listen, this hour has gone by so fast, and the Simons will be back again next month, first Thursday of the month. We might have a new time for you. We'll get the word out. Give everybody the phone number.
954-599-1950.
And you know what? They love sitting down with you. No charge. Sit down with you.
No
Go
charge.
over.
For free.
Free consultation.
Well, I think that's important.
Well, you know what it is? It's not, there's no price to it. What I say by that is everybody needs a fair shake, right, of what they need to do with their financial future.
You guys are the best. Again,
Thank you.
Is the Simon Group USA, and don't forget it at 5 o'clock today, 1470 a.m. More Ask the Experts. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Ask the Expert Show, featuring interviews with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Call our office at 888-574-6999 to become one of our experts on the show. And tune in again next week for more Ask the Experts with Steve-O.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.